Hi friends, so in this video we are going to discuss about shortest job first scheduling algorithm. In the previous video we have discussed about first come first serve algorithm, so that is also comes under the CPU scheduling algorithms, right? So shortest job first scheduling algorithm also comes under CPU scheduling algorithms, right? So here also we are going to take the same parameters just like burst time, then arrival order, then arrival time. Then after that, we are going to calculate waiting time for each process, then average waiting time of the whole schedule. So all these things we are going to consider, and same time we are going to calculate it also. For this algorithm also, I am going to take 4 different processes, that is called process 1, process 2, process 3 and process 4. These are the 4 processes I am going to take it as an example. So for this also, I need to fill out burst time, arrival order and arrival time also, right? So here I'm going to fill out the table, then we will calculate it. So first I need to fill out the processes, then burst time, then arrival order, then arrival time. Right? I am going to fill out the processes first, P1, P2, P3, P4. Right? After that, I am going to fill out the burst time. So first 10, after that 4, after that 6, then after that 2. Right? This is how I am going to take the burst time. An arrival order will be the same, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is how the process is going to come inside to the CPU for execution. And arrival time is same, right? 0, 0, 0, 0, right? This is the arrival time. So now after submitting this number of process to the operating system, so what the operating system will do if the operating system is having the shortest job first as a scheduling algorithm. So now after submission of all these processes, operating system will do the sorting operation, right, based on the burst time, right? Whichever process is having the lowest burst time, it will put the rank first. So here see that P1, P2, P3 and P4 all having the burst time. So based on the burst time, the sorting operation will happen inside the operating system. So operating system will find out the lowest burst time, right? So based on that, P4 will be taken first because its burst time is 2 only. Then after that, it will verify remaining P1, P2, P3. Then in these 3 processes, which one will have the lowest burst time? P2 is having the lowest burst time. So burst time is 4. Then remaining is P1 and P3. In these 2, which one is having the lowest burst time? So P3 will have the lowest burst time, that is called 6. Right? At last P1 is there. So P1 will have the highest burst time, that is called 10. Right? So now this order will be formed by the operating system. So after this only the number of process will be started executing. Right? Now I am going to change the order in the table, then we'll discuss the execution. Right? So I am going to change the order now. Right? So here, because I am not going to erase anything in the arrival time. Arrival time is same for all. Now P4, then after that P2, then P3, at last P1 will come, right? So I'm going to fill out the burst time, that is 2, then 4, then 6, then 10, right? Now I need to fill out the arrival order. So which one came first? Process 1 came first, then process 2 came first, then process 3, then process 4. Now the order has been changed, right? Okay, so now we are going to calculate the waiting time for each process, right? Then average waiting time also we are going to calculate, right? Now what I'm going to do it, I'm going to erase all these things. Then we are going to calculate the average waiting time as well as waiting time for each process, right? First, we will calculate the waiting time for each process. Now, based on this rank, right? So operating system has rearranged the process. Then now process 4 will get the chance for execution first. Now process 4's waiting time is 0. Why? Because arrival time is 0, so immediately it will get the chance of execution. So arrival time and the arrival time is 0, as well as waiting time for process 4 is 0. Now the second is P2. So P2's waiting time is what? So process 4's execution time minus arrival time, right? This is how we can calculate it, right? So process 4's execution time is 2, right? Now process 2's waiting time is 2. Now this is how we need to calculate the waiting time for process 3. Now here P4's execution time plus P2's execution time minus arrival time of P3. So P4's execution time is 2, then P2's execution time is 4, right? So total is 6, right? 6 is the waiting time for P3. Then P1's waiting time is what, right? Now here you need to calculate the waiting time for P1. So now P1's execution, then P2's execution, then P3's execution, then arrival time of P1, right? So P4's execution is 2, then P2's execution is 4, then P3's execution is 6. So what is the total? Total is 12. Now, so how the waiting time we can write it? So waiting time is P4, P2, P3, then P1, right? So here waiting time is 0 for P4, P2's waiting time is 2, P3's waiting time is 6, then P1's waiting time is 12. Now what we are going to do it, we need to calculate the total waiting time. So then only we can calculate the average waiting time for the whole schedule, right? So here the total waiting time, how we can calculate it? So we need to add all the waiting time, right? That is each waiting time, each process waiting time need to be added and we can calculate the total waiting time. So total waiting time is equal to, so waiting time of P4 plus P2 plus P3 then P1, right? P3 plus P1, right? So what will be the answer here? So 0 plus 2 plus 6 plus 12. So total how much it will come? It will come 20. So 20 is the total waiting time. So now we need to calculate the average waiting time. So average waiting time is total waiting time divided by number of process, right? So total waiting time is 20 divided by 4 is the number of process. So waiting time will be 5. So this is how we can calculate the total waiting time. That is again waiting time for each process, as well as we can calculate the average waiting time in shortest job first scheduling algorithm, right? If you are comparing with the first come first serve scheduling algorithm, surely the average waiting time will be higher. If you want to reduce the average waiting time, so we are moving from first come first serve algorithm to shortest job first algorithm.